Hi folks, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. So today is Thursday, the 13th of February 2025, and in today's video I want to decipher for you in the book of Zechariah, chapter 2, okay? Now the book of Zechariah, chapter 2 is actually important because it contains a lot of Millennium Kingdom prophecies upon the second coming of Jesus, okay? Now there is a small cluster of verses from 6 to 9 which are actually have been fulfilled, which were prophecies for the deliverance of Israel coming out of Babylon, okay? But then from verses 10 to 13, we got another cluster of Millennial Kingdom prophecies. So it's actually quite an important chapter to know regarding, up and coming prophecies for the future. As always, I do have a problem here. It's actually only 2 pages long. I'm going to be going verse by verse pretty much and linking these prophecies to other prophecies in the Bible. But generally speaking, when I get to verses 6 to 9, which is actually to do with the Babylon deliverance, then I'm just going to offer some general commentary because these prophecies have already come to pass and most of our scholars are well aware of them, And then I'm going to be linking the future prophecies for the Millennial Kingdom. I'm going to be linking them to other prophecies in the Bible, okay? So it's actually quite a very interesting chapter, this one. Let us begin. Just remember before I begin chapter 2 that if you read chapter 1, then Zechariah is actually having visions, okay? His first vision is actually here on verse 8, where it reads, "Behold, a man riding upon a red horse." And then when you get to verse 18, he's having his second vision. Then lifted I up my eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns. That's his second vision. The third vision is here in chapter 2, verse 1. I lifted up my eyes again and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. So this is Zechariah's third vision, okay? Now, you're probably not going to understand this right away when you read this, but when you read the first 5 verses, you will realize that it's to do with the Millennial Kingdom. It's actually to do with the 4th temple that you can read upon in Ezekiel chapter 47 and 48 upon the second coming of Jesus for the Millennial Kingdom. Okay. So when you begin to read here on verse 1, behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand, and then on verse 2, it reads, "Then said I, Whither goest you? Where are you going?" And he said to me, "To measure Jerusalem." That's right. So upon the arrival of Jesus' second coming, there's going to be a new city of Jerusalem, a brand new 4th temple, and also God is going to partition the land to the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. So it's just here to measure Jerusalem and so on, to see what is the breadth thereof and what is the length thereof. Okay. This prophecy here actually links pretty much precisely to Ezekiel 48:30. Now, let me show you in my program here as we go along, okay? I just read to you, "Behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand." This is Zechariah 3rd vision. If you read beginning on chapter 1, okay? This is a Millennial Kingdom prophecy upon the arrival of Jesus' second coming, and it's linked to Ezekiel 48:30. Verse 2, "To measure Jerusalem," okay, the new city, "to see what is the breadth thereof and what is the length thereof." This prophecy is precisely linked to Ezekiel 48:30, okay? So let me show you Ezekiel 48:30. We are already in Ezekiel, folks. Give me 1 second. It's actually a long book. Ezekiel 48:30, okay? So head over to Ezekiel 48 and verse 30. "And these are the goings out of the city," okay? So if you read verse 2, "To measure Jerusalem," the city, okay? So, "And these are the goings out of the city on the north side, 4,500 measures," okay? and then you can read on from verses 30 to 35 to get more of a clearer picture. Okay. Now, if we go back now to reading on verse 3, okay, and behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Okay, and on verse 4, and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man. Now, who is this young man? It's actually Zechariah. Zechariah was actually, a young person in his days of prophesying. He was actually a prophet in the days of Haggai, okay? Upon the rebuilding of Israel's second temple, so after, the captivity coming out of Babylon, if you like, okay? Verse 4, just to recap, and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man, Zechariah, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls, for the multitude of men and cattle therein. Okay. So for this verse 4, where it reads, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls, for the multitude of men and cattle therein. This prophecy is linked to Ezekiel 48, verses 31 to 35, like I said previously on verse 4. Okay. And interestingly, in Ezekiel 48:35, it reads that when the city of Jerusalem has been rebuilt, it's going to be called the Lord is there. The name of the city from that day shall be the Lord is there. So then you got to follow context on verse 5, where it mainly reads on verse 5, For I, said the Lord, will be unto her a wall of fire round about, and I will be the glory in the midst of thee. So this verse 5 is mainly linked to, I believe, to Ezekiel 48:35 in context, because the fact that Jesus is going to be the glory, okay, and the city is going to have a new name, the Lord is there. This glory is in fact the fact that the Lord is there. So from my study of the Bible, probably the best prophecy that I can come up with to link this verse 5 is actually Ezekiel 48:35, because the city is going to have a new name, the Lord is there, and it says here on verse 5 that Jesus is going to be, the glory of the city, if you like. So this is why I think that this verse 5 is highly linked to this Ezekiel 48:35. So let me just show you Ezekiel here, um, you know, 48:35, It was run about 18,000 measures, and the name of the city from that day shall be the Lord is there. Okay. So the fact that it's saying that the Lord is there, if you read here on verse 5, For I said the Lord will be unto her a wall of fire and about, and I will be the glory in the midst of her. The fact that Jerusalem is going to have a new city, which is going to be called the Lord is there. I think that, the fact that God is going to be the glory of Jerusalem, I think that, it really links really well with the new name of the city. Now, verses 6 to 9, if you like, regarding the Babylonian deliverance, if you like. So let me just turn the page on my program here, and we're going to be going through these verses, okay? So verses 6 to 9 are about the Babylonian deliverance, a prophecies relating to Israel being delivered out of Babylon after 70 years in exile, okay? You can read this, in Second Chronicles chapter 36, verses 21 to 23. You can also read the book of Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. For more thorough information of Israel's captivity in Babylon, most Bible scholars know about this, okay? Perhaps before I move on to the main cluster of Millennium Kingdom Prophecies, I just quickly show you Second Chronicles 36, verses 21 and 23, how Israel had to spend 70 years, okay, in Babylon, okay? So just quickly, let me take you to Second Chronicles. So we can lay that to rest, so to speak. So I'm sure that most of you Bible scholars already know this. Second Chronicles chapter 36. Next page here, verses 21 to 23. To fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah until the land had enjoyed her Sabbath. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why Israel went into captivity. Because they didn't fulfill the requirement of the law regarding the Sabbath. Okay, for as long as she lay desolate, she kept Sabbath to fulfill three score and 10 years. I was 70 years, in captivity in Babylon, and then of course King Cyrus was the first king to deliver the Jewish people, if you like, and so on. Okay. Now, the main thing for me then is to decipher for you verses 10 to 13, which are important future Millennium Kingdom Prophecies. Now, on verse 10 it reads, "Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion." Now, why does it say, O daughter of Zion? Daughter of Zion, if you like, think about Revelation 12, how the woman is Israel. So if the woman is Israel, let me just quickly show you Revelation 12. Okay, this is perhaps a bit of a teaching, for Bible scholars. So if you read in Revelation 12, okay, book of Revelation, go to chapter 12, okay, and it reads here, say, for example, verse 13, "And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman." Now we know that the woman is Israel, okay? So just remember that. So if in fact the woman is Israel, then Jerusalem is her daughter, okay? So Jerusalem is the daughter, or daughter of Zion, "For lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, said the Lord." Okay, so this is a Millennial Kingdom prophecy because Jesus is coming back to be in the midst, of the Jewish people. So the best prophecy that links this midst of thee is actually Zephaniah 3:15. Okay, so I will dwell in the midst of thee, Zephaniah 3:15. Let me just quickly show you that. Zephaniah just around, I think it was back here. Let's see, it was back here. So head over to Zephaniah chapter 3, uh, verse 15. "The Lord hath taken away thy judgments, he hath cast out thy enemy, the King of Israel, even the Lord is in the midst of thee." Okay, so just remember midst of thee, and then see how it nicely links to Zechariah here, chapter 2, verse 10. Okay, "I will dwell in the midst of thee." Okay, "And many nations shall be joined to the Lord in that day, and shall be my people, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that the Lord of hosts has sent me unto thee." Now this verse 11 is actually linked to Zechariah 14, verse 16, and Isaiah 2:4. Many nations shall be joined unto thee. So since we are in Zechariah, let me show you Zechariah 14, verse 16. Okay, so Zechariah 14 and verse 16. Okay, "And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of the nations," okay, "which come against Jerusalem, shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles." Okay, that's going to be compulsory. And also it's linked to Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. So if we quickly go to Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4, long chapter here of Isaiah, long book of Isaiah, bear with me for 1 sec. So head over to, of course, Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4, okay, "And he shall judge among the nations," okay, "and shall rebuke many people," and so on, okay. So, this prophecy here on verse 11, okay, is actually linked, like I just showed you, to Zechariah 14:16 and Isaiah 2:4. Now verse 12, where it reads, the adult shall inherit Judah, is actually linked to Ezekiel 48, 8. Okay, so let me take you to Ezekiel 48, 8. Just around the corner here. Here we are in Ezekiel chapter 48, verse 8. Okay, and it reads, and by the border of Judah from the east side and to the west side shall be the offering which you shall offer of 25,000 reeds in breadth and in length, as one of the other parts, from the east side and to the west side, and the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it. Okay, so it's actually linked to that. The Lord shall inherit Judah. In other words, his portion, if you like, of the land. Okay. Now verse 13 to finish up. For his raised up out of his holy habitation is actually linked to, generally speaking, to Isaiah chapter 12, but also Isaiah chapter 12, verse 2. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks, and I'll talk to you all later.